I got to go to Mass. That is actually one of our little mottos that I was thinking about for this year. I got to go to Mass would mean that I got to go, that it was a great privilege and opportunity, or I got to go to Mass because I'm really hungry. I need to go to Mass. It is essential. Or I got to go to Mass because it's an obligation and that I owe that to God. And Bishop Cotta has just announced that that obligation will be reinstated in the Diocese of Stockton on the 26th of June, so just in a couple of weeks. Now, we are grateful, though, that we are able to open up the Mass even more, our Sunday Masses more, to allow for more people. We do not have any capacity limits any longer because of the new directives from the state of California, and the bishop then, in line with that, gave us new directives that we are now opening all of our pews. There'll be no more red tape. All the pews will be used. Oh, by the way, this is Father Sam, and this is Coffee Time with me. And grace and peace to all of you. So, the Sunday obligation, we have it, and it's great. I think we sometimes have a problem with the word obligation. It sounds, I don't know, too overbearing, too tyrannical. That's a word, right? Tyrannical. Or just like, you know, we get ruffled when people say we have to do something. But if I said you had to eat, that it's an obligation to eat, would that be somehow, would you stand back from that? Probably not, because you realize, yeah, I gotta eat, right? I gotta eat. Or it's an obligation that you must sleep 7.5 hours. I wish I could follow that obligation, right? I'd be like, yeah, that's great. So why, when it comes to saying you have to go to Mass, it's an obligation, some people get frustrated with that. And maybe I don't know, maybe I do too in some sense. Maybe that's why I'm talking about it. I don't know, maybe we don't see this Mass as essential as eating and sleeping. And maybe that's something to look at, right? Because it really is, when it comes down to it. We're made to worship God, and the Mass is the fullest expression of worship on earth, because it's Jesus who is the one high priest, the one and only high priest, who's offered himself on the cross for us, and we are present at that offering to the Father on behalf of all of humanity for our salvation, to bring all of us, to offer all of us salvation, heaven, and to give proper and appropriate worship to God, the Almighty Father. Only God, the Son, can offer the proper and worthy oblation to the Father, right? What is owed to the Father. So we are part of that in Mass. And so there's a lot going on there, and we want to get more into that as we get into months ahead, as people start coming back more and more. We hope they do. And so if you've been away from Mass, please consider coming. Again, there's no limits. There's a list of things that have changed, and we'll get that on our social media. Maybe we'll include it on this post as well. But just to kind of explain a little bit about the obligation, because I think some people it could be confused, or it can be a little bit or misinterpreted. So if you are susceptible to serious illness, if you acquired a virus, including COVID-19, you are not obliged to come to Mass. I mean, if you have a serious underlying condition that could be a fatal or result in a serious reaction if you acquired a virus. There are many that maybe are undergoing some kind of treatments, maybe chemotherapy, their immunity is down. So they would not be obliged to come to Mass. And those who care for them also would not be obliged to come to Mass, meaning they'd be able to have a real reason not to come to Mass, because if we don't have a good reason and we just don't want to come to Mass because we don't feel like it, that is a grave sin. It is a serious sin. It's a mortal sin. and does require confession in order to be absolved. So we do want to take this seriously. But again, those who have immunity issues, those who are caring for those who have comprised immune systems would be exempt. Those would not be obligated. Those who are giving any sort of support to our society that are necessary jobs, that are firemen, firefighters, police, nurses, doctors, guys, people working in the grocery store, all of the essential workers that have to work on a Sunday, there is of course, a exemption from the obligation. Now, if you have people though that are just simply scared, and legitimately so, there still maybe people are scared because of the pandemic and maybe, everything that's been out there and they've heard, that you can get a special dispensation. You can talk to me, you can call the office and we can talk about it. But, we want us to get past the fear, right? I know that it's hard, but we do need to trust our Lord. But if you do have a question about that, there's still a dispensation for those who are afraid. Now, I've been asked in the past, like, okay, what kind of standard maybe can I use, about knowing if I'm legitimately excused from Mass, or if I, kind of taking advantage of maybe not going to Mass and when I should. And, I think it's pretty simple. I think we can just use pretty logic, and reason, is if I'm going out of my house to other places, besides perhaps the doctor's office, that would probably be the only exception to this. But if I'm going to even the grocery store, or I'm getting my hair done, or I'm going to the mall, or I'm going to a restaurant, I'm going to a casino, then I need to go to Mass. I mean, in person. That would be, I would say that would be a clear indication that you go to Mass in person. Now, if I am at home, not leaving my home because of my health, and I cannot, but I'm going to the doctor because that would be something to get treated for whatever illness that I'm under, that I have, then yeah, that would be the reason not to come to Mass. That would be a legitimate reason. So I think that's kind of simple. Maybe I'm missing something, but if you have any question, you can just call, right? Or comment, I guess. It's better to call me, yeah. You can look up the number. Anyway, a coffee, 8-minute video. That's a little long. You told me 2 minutes. That's it, Father, 2 minutes. Everybody drops off after 2 minutes, so there's nobody really watching anymore. So I guess it really doesn't make any difference. I can kind of look at my hair, which looks actually pretty good. Yeah, I got my mantle behind me there. I got my St. Joseph's. Well, I got the Blessed Mother. You can see on my left shoulder, St. Joseph holding baby Jesus. We got the crucifix, always the crucifix at the center. And of course, that's why Mass is so important, to be there at the cross. That's what saves us. And of course, I got my little collage of my mom, my sister. Yeah, I'm very grateful. I had a parishioner who put that together from the photos that they got off the social media, and it was very beautiful and very framed it, and I'm very appreciative of that. So have a great day. Please like and share and like. And again, this good news, we're getting back to some kind of normalcy, and really looking forward to it. And have a great and most blessed day. Thank you.